Hi, my name's Neil Taylor, and I've just done my very first season as a campsite, caravan site, motorhome warden. Obviously, it was rather interesting because we sort of went on lockdown into March, and we weren't actually able to open up the site properly until July the 4th, 2020, the year of COVID. But it's been a fantastic experience. And I know some people have been asking, how do you become a campsite warden? Do you have any tips that can help you get a role? So first of all, don't rush. So I'm recording this now towards the end of October 2020, and yep, there are jobs coming up. Camping and caravan club, camping the forest, motorhome and caravan club are sort of enrolling at the moment. But private sites will keep advertising into the new year, so really don't rush until you see something that's right for you. I'm a solo warden, and so getting a job is nowhere near as easy as a couple. So most sites are looking for couples rather than solo wardens, but don't give up. You know, you can get work out there. So first tip number one is make sure you've got a fairly concise CV that's up to date, and include in there all your transferable skills. So if you enjoy gardening, put that on, because part of the warden role is looking after the grounds. You know, if you like doing DIY, painting, decorating, put things like that on. Any transferable skill, make sure goes onto that CV. If you've got a DBS, that's also worth having, and sort of make sure that the site you're going to knows you've got a current DBS or a current enhanced DBS. It sort of shows that you're trustworthy and you've got like a proper police background check that's been done on you, basically. And obviously, if you've got a clean driving licence, make sure that is also on your CV, and obviously make sure that that licence covers you to be able to tow a trailer, caravan, etc. The roles vary, what you see out there, so just make sure that you're adaptable. You know, every day is a different day to a large extent, and you know, don't just think it's going to work at 9 o'clock and finishing at 5 o'clock or whatever. You've got to be adaptable, and if you get through to an interview stage, whether that's Zoom, telephone or face-to-face, just make sure that it really comes over that you're willing to flex and be adaptable. One thing where you've got to be careful when you see job vacancies, and I refer to not rushing, is some sites are advertising for facility cleaners full-time almost. In my opinion, being a toilet cleaner, shower cleaner isn't being a warden. I've seen on some Facebook groups some people claim that they're wardens, but really to me they're being employed as a cleaner. So just be really careful what you actually sign up for. So cleaning, boom, is part of the job. Facility cleaning, boom, part of the job. Cleaning the toilets and showers, yeah, that's all part of the job, but not full time. If you want to do that, you do that. But you know, just be very, very careful you don't get taken advantage of. You'll sometimes see sites advertising if you've got building skills or electrical skills or plumbing skills. Don't rush into a job. You could end up building, I don't know, a farmhouse for somebody on minimum wage. So just think very carefully to why you're being asked if you've got these skills. As I say, flexibility and being adaptable is really, 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 really keen. Make sure, and I'm sure you will have, if you're watching this, you'll be computer savvy, that you're able to emphasise that you're able to deal with emails in a professional and concise way. You're willing to answer telephone calls, being polite, concise, and making any notes about any conversations that you have. And also make sure that you're going to meet any customer with enthusiasm. Again, on some of these Facebook groups, there's some what I would call absolute miserable sods on there that just seem to hate the guests and children. They just, you've come at 2 minutes past 6. Don't go away. Just please don't do that. If somebody's coming away on a holiday or for a small break and they've had a breakdown or the traffic's been bad, be adaptable. Some will take the mickey, sure, but most people don't do that on purpose. You're sometimes going to have to go the extra mile and put in some extra hours. You may, in peak times, in summer holidays, have times where you need to be doing a late night facility check. You may be asked to do on-call. Again, if you do the on-call, just make sure you discuss what that entails. Important. But, be willing to do those extra hours. And when you go for an interview, say phone, Zoom, face-to-face, just make sure that the person interviewing you knows that you're willing to do those extra hours. There's a bit of a debate on whether you should take a role as being self-employed or PAYE. I personally don't have any issues on taking a role as self-employed. Why would you? As long as you've got an understanding with the site owner to what hours are going to be given, when they'll pay your invoice. I personally have been paid in a paid role, PAYE, but I've continued to also be self-employed. I run a small internet company doing web design and web solutions. So for me, being self-employed, no big deal if somebody offered me a job, wanted me to be self-employed. On your working hours, again, I've just mentioned, your day may start at 7:30 in the morning, loo cleaning, give everywhere a check over. But those hours, just make sure you really emphasise that you will be flexible on those, especially if you've got staff shortages or sicknesses or peak times, or the campsite could have a problem. I don't know, it could have a burst water main or something like that, and it's all hands on decks. When you speak to customers, have that enthusiasm. The site that I was on, again, go and look back on my previous videos, you'll get where I am, was all bar one, 100% thumbs up, positive reviews on the likes of TripAdvisor, UK Campsite, and Google Business. And if you can get that enthusiasm going and get that into these recommendation on the likes of TripAdvisor, that will go a long way when an employer looks at you to go around and say, hey, look at him, he's been a good guy. So, just think about what people are going to write about you and get that onto your CV as well. The job can be mucky. When I was working, as I say, my season's over at the moment, blocked toilets, poo. Yeah, it was. It could get messy, but that's part and parcel of the job. Make sure when you do an interview, that is not going to be a problem. Again, you watch some of these conversations on Facebook with caravan site wardens, and they just seem to hate people. So if you apply for a job and you get an interview and you don't get it, it's disappointing. It happened to me, on a couple of occasions. But don't be disheartened. Try and work out, where did you go wrong? Did I go wrong? Even if you have that conversation where you've been not given the job over the phone, just ask, is there anything that I could have done to improve the interview? But don't be disheartened, as I say, and just don't rush into getting any job that comes up. But don't be disheartened. I got my job last year. It was right towards the end of February before I was actually successful. And if it'd gone another couple of weeks, it would have been too late into the season. So, don't give up. Really, chin up. You'll do it. You'll get there. So you'll see a number of job sites, so like UK Campsites and Caravan Job Finder list jobs where lots of people go to. But just don't be afraid of approaching campsites independently that aren't necessarily advertising for staff vacancies right now. So, you know, where I am, I wanted to have a job, if possible, within a 2.5-hour radius of my home. So explore that radius if you have one. Explore campsites that you'd maybe like to work at. Get in touch. You know, you can do it by email now. It doesn't cost any money, and they can only say no at the end of the day. So, you know, just don't necessarily wait for adverts to come up, because that job that you want could be out there and it's not being advertised yet. So be on the ball. As mentioned, you know, just be careful that you don't sort of become a labourer, a builder, a full-time plumber. Just consider what role you want and what you want that to be. When do you start looking for a job? Well, really, when do you want to start work? So if you're looking for seasonal work, so many sites will employ you on an 8-month contract, sort of start in March, finishing the end of October. Some sites will give a 6-month contract. Some sites are open all year round. So make some consideration to sort of what period of contract you're looking for. You know, would you prefer a 6-month start, so that's starting, say, at Easter, finishing at the end of September? Or do you want to start at the beginning of March, right through to half-term, end of October? Have a think about it. There are a few winter warden roles available. Do you want to work winter for 6 months? So just think about what you want to do. And as I say, please just don't rush thinking, you know, I want to become a warden, I'm going to take the first thing that comes up. Be selective. 2020, we're in really difficult times at the moment. You know, Wales, as I'm recording this, is currently on a fire break, a circuit break, lockdown. And the poor campsite owners, the caravan site owners, I just despair for them. I really, 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 really despair for them. We are in really interesting times, challenging times. So consider what potentially is going to happen. This COVID is not going to go away. And this is going to go on, in my opinion, until springtime next year. But sites are looking, you know, and sites last year that I wanted to open up on July the 4th, you know, they had wardens in place. Some were very fortunate to get furloughed. I could not get furloughed. So, you know, just consider this whole COVID situation, what's happening, because it's moving quite fast. So, will you get a job? Who knows? Will I get a job? I really do hope I get another job. But if it happens, fantastic. If it doesn't happen, I'm fairly lucky, I'm fairly adaptable, and I can find other work of some sort. So I have been home for just over 2 weeks, and I have been non-stop decorating, and just don't even go with what I've been doing at home. And end of next week, I'm going to be on top of all the jobs I needed to do. So I'm going to start getting my applications in, and basically see what comes up. Hope that's been of some use to you. If it has, or you've got any questions, please fire any comments below. I'll try and answer anything the best that I possibly can for you. You know, there isn't a magic wand on getting a job, but just don't be desperate. Just look at the job description, and also if you see a particular site that's advertising every month for the same role, alarm bells will start ringing. There are a couple of Facebook groups for solo, well, there's certainly one for solo wardens, and there's another larger one that is interesting. And as I say, I dip in and dip out, to be honest. I find some of the comments not particularly helpful, but hey ho, there you go. All right, so as I say, fire any questions down below, and look at I've got a playlist for becoming a campsite warden, my journey. So look out for my playlist. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you want to get notification when I upload a video, hit the subscription button. You know what? I'll see you on the next one.